Hello, hello, my friends. AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Welcome back to my face and my card making space. And I didn't forget, on or around the 25th of each month, and I always say on or around because y'all know the chance of me being on time for anything are slim to none. However, on or around the 25th of each month, I plan to post a holiday themed card making video. I started doing this last year. I quite enjoyed it, and man, does it take the pressure off to have like a stash of holiday cards before the season, approaches. So, doing it again this year, and as I get them made, I'm making a playlist, and I'll link to it in the end screen at the end of the video. And depending on what's going on, it may be more than one video. It just depends. Just depends on my mood, all the things, etc. So this time I used oldie but goodie favorites again, along with a newer coordinating die set, and I was inspired by some bling. Splatter was had, of course, etc. Everything I used will be listed and linked in the description box below the video. My links are affiliate links. That just means that if you click on one of my links and end up placing an order, I get a little kickback from that at no extra cost to you. That is what helps keep the lights on, pays the bills, keeps my heaters running, enables me to keep bringing out content. And yeah, let's get into making these cards. So I'm using the Lots of Snowflakes stamp set from Simon Says Stamp. This stamp set came out years ago. Years and years ago. I don't even remember. However, more recently, they released a coordinating die set for it, which love that, because a set like this, there's no way I ever would have fussy cut anything anyway. But yeah, coordinating dies. So what I did was I just have a panel of white cardstock, chose several of the snowflakes from the set, was able to squeeze quite a few onto here, and just made sure that there was enough of a gap between the stamps so that I can die cut the stamped images. And once I've got the panel filled, I'm going to use my anti-static powder tool. That just helps prevent the embossing powder from clinging to anything other than the stamped images. And then I had to hunt for my clear embossing ink because it grew legs and walked away. And then I found it. And I'm inking up and stamping these images with clear embossing ink, which looks like nothing on camera. It looks like nothing in real life. That's why I have to tilt my stamp platform there so I can see the shine. And then that way I can also see if I've missed any spots with the stamping. And then once I made sure everything was stamped, I'm going to coat all of this with white embossing powder and then melt this with my heat tool until everything is shiny and melted and not gritty. Because if it looks gritty, it just means you haven't melted it yet. So you want to hit that with your heat tool. And I'm doing very simple embossed resist with these, which any water reactive dye ink will work. I'm using positively saturated inks, specifically the ORCHID color, and just blending this on with a blending brush. Not worried about getting a smooth blend, because again, I'm die cutting these. And these inks also do soften and dry back. So I'm just slapping the color on. And for the most part, the embossing will resist the ink. However, ink will still sort of sit on top of embossing. So regardless of what color, ink, whatever I'm using, when I'm done, I will just buff away. I just kind of wipe a cloth over the top of this. A little bit of paper towel will work too. That'll just pick up any ink that might be sitting on top of the heat embossing. So blend it on my ink, ain't worried about the blend being perfect, and then buffing away the excess, and then I can die cut these. And if a person wanted to, and I thought about it, but again, I am scrambling. I have so much on my plate. Anyway, if I had wanted to do a ton of these, because I had the stamps already lined up, I could have stamped multiple panels, just one after another, and then I'd have just a bunch. And then I could have done different colors on every panel. Oh, trust me, I thought about it. I went with purples today. I was in a purple mood again. But could have done this in pink. Could have done blues, aqua colors. A minty green would look really pretty too. The sky is the limit, literally. Especially with snowflakes. So I just did the one panel, ended up making 2 cards, but you can make 100, you know? It wouldn't be too difficult. So after I die cut the snowflakes, I pulled out the often used wafer die, or not wafer die, embossing folder. I've used this many, many times. It's one of my favorites. In fact, I have 2 of these embossing folders. I'm not even sure how I ended up with the second one. I probably loved it so much I ordered a second one. I don't even know. It's the Cheery Snowflakes 3D embossing folder. And I embossed some very pale purple cardstock. I just dug through my stash. I think this, I'll have a link to it. I think this is Gina K. Lavender Field, something. It'll be in the supplies. You could use white cardstock as well. Just having the purple base just made this step faster. Because after I had run it through and embossed it, I then used that same color of ink, the ORCHID ink, and blended that just to get it closer to the color of the ink that I blended over the snowflakes. So I'd done that. And then for my sentiments, I'm using the Easy Strips Christmas stamp. I was going to say stamp set, but it's one stamp. If you haven't heard of these, Simon Says Stamp released Easy Strips wafer dies. There's several now, and there are a few different stamps, as well as a whole bunch of like pre-printed sentiment packs. They all coordinate, and then they all coordinate with the coordinating dies, because it's all like in one go. So I've got this one panel, and it's an A2 panel, and I'm doing the same thing as I did with the snowflakes, just this time on black cardstock. Anti-static powder, stamped with clear embossing ink, coated with the white embossing powder, and then melting with my heat tool. And yeah, the easy strips are great. Just convenience. Convenience. Because I only ended up making 2 cards. I actually did this part, like the sentiments, I did do twice. And then all the extras, I'll show what I do with them in a second. So melted everything with my heat tool. And then because this is on dark cardstock, I take my little microfiber cloth and I just buff the cardstock to remove that excess anti-static powder because it's ugly. It doesn't look nice. And then buff that all away and it's nice and crisp and black again. And then once I've done that, I can use one of the Easy Strips die sets. And I use the rounded rectangles. This one's my favorite of all of them. This is the one I reach for the most. And then I die cut. And like I said, I did a second panel with that stamp. And I just put the extras in the packaging. And these I will definitely be using on future cards. So next time I grab the stamp, it's like, oh, I've got a pile of sentiments already stamped and heat embossed and die cut and ready to go. Convenience. I'm here for it. So, got my sentiments. I've got my 3D embossed little background. And then I've got panels of white cardstock here that I'd cut down to about 3.5 by 4 3/4. I think so. And I'm stamping some of those snowflakes. And I'm using LILAC and AMETHYST ink, which right now on camera, they look the exact same. But lilac is the lightest shade of purple in this trio. Mine just happens to be, like, I re-inked this ink pad literally just the other day. So it is extra juicy. And it's going to take a little bit to dry back and, like, soften. And then amethyst is the darkest shade in the trio. And then sometimes you see I'm stamping the image onto, on the lower left there, that's just a piece of copy paper. So that I'm getting the second generation of the ink so that I'm getting an even paler shade. Because I just wanted a little cluster of these snowflakes. And this would work too if you only had like one shade of ink and you want, different values and different levels, is stamping it off, getting the second generation. If you have a stamp positioner, you could ink it up and stamp it more than once in the same spot to get a little more intense color. So these were the things we used to have to do back in the day, when we didn't have all the options we have now, all the supplies we have now. Like, we made it work, man. And now we've got so many more fun things to play with. Anyway. So I'd stamp those panels. I set them aside. I'll come back to them in a minute. I did the same thing on the insides of the cards, which are top folding A2 white note cards. So 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. And stamped some of the snowflakes again. Stamped the larger ones off so they're much lighter. That way it's easier for me to write over that. And then I'm going to include one each of the die cut snowflakes on the inside as well, because I'd already chosen the ones I wanted to use on the fronts of the cards, and then I had these extras. So I was able to adhere those onto the inside, and then I'm going to adhere one of the stamped and die cut sentiments here. So get those adhered onto the insides of the cards. Then I glued the embossed backgrounds to the card fronts. And then the white panels I'm popping up with Big Mama foam tape. So that'll give them just a little bit of dimension. And then I'd put the same Big Mama foam tape on the back of my die cut snowflakes to also give them a little bit of dimension. I'm going to pop those into place. The sentiments I'm going to leave off for a second because, of course, I'm going to add splatter. So, got the snowflakes adhered. I'm going to put these into my splat box. And for my first bit of splatter, I'm using some Seedless Preserves Distress Spritz, which, with the Distress Spritz, with any shimmery spray style product, whether it's shimmer or it has pigment in it, you got to shake it up really, really well so that it evenly distributes and doesn't clog. Not that I use these as much for spray. I am liking them for splatter because it's pretty and shimmery. So, shook them up really well, dipped my brush in there, splattered that. And then, second bit of splatter is the Simon Pawsitively Perfect White Splatter, which needs to be stirred up. With the Simon Pawsitively Perfect Splatters, those need to be stirred, not shaken, in my opinion. I don't like shaking these jars because it just gets everywhere. It gets everywhere. It's just a mess. So I stirred it up really good, splattered the white splatter with my fan brush, and then black splatter, which is also the Simon Pawsitively Perfect Black Splatter. Stirred that up as well. I treat this stuff very, very carefully because it is extremely pigmented. It will stain everything it comes in contact with, and it's very liquid. So I splattered that as well, cleaned everything off, let my splatter dry, and then I'm adhering my sentiments into place with just some little black foam squares. Love it. And then my final little embellishment, which is also what inspired the colors, was these little lavender hearts embellishment, like shaker mix from Simon's most recent. Well, it was their most recent release. I think by the time this goes up, their February release will be live. If it is, I'll have a link to it in the description below. And more videos coming. Like I said, I'm scrambling. What else is new? It is what it is. So, these are what inspired the colors, though. I was like, ooh, pretty purples. Like I need an excuse. I like purple. So, I put a few of these onto the card, just picked them up with my embellishment wand, adhered them into place with a little dab of glue. And then I just got to let the glue dry, and these cards are complete. So we've got texture and a little bit of shimmer and purple snowflakes. And they just make me happy. So, like I said in the intro, I'll have links to all of the things in the description box below the video. I'll link to my previous holiday video from last month. I don't know if I've started a playlist for it yet, but I will be obviously starting one to keep everything easy to find. So that'll be at the end screen at the very end of the video. And yeah, thank you all so much for hanging out with me, for thumbs upping and commenting. It helps a ton, and I very much appreciate it. And I'll be seeing you all very soon in another video. Bye. Thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters. For anyone that might be interested in joining my Patreon community and supporting me, the link to my Patreon is in the description box below the video. For everyone else, as always, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't, I'd love to have you. And here's a couple other videos for you to check out in case you missed them. Bye!